Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Digging Deeper moment number 142. The mission of our Digging Deeper moments is to take God's Word to God's world, and we are so glad that you've joined us. Now, before we get into tonight's lesson, I need you to do me a favor. If you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so because it will help us spread messages like these to others. Thank you. Over the past 2 weeks, we've looked at 3 of 8 things we bring into the book of Revelation with us. These 8 things influence and color what we read and how we interpret what it says. So far, we looked at 3 things, and we've turned them into 3 questions. Number one, when does a person believe Revelation was written? Early date or late date? What does the person believe about the 1,000-year reign of Christ? What's called the millennium? And thirdly, what method of interpretation are they using? Tonight, we'll look at a 4th thing that influences how we understand the book of Revelation, and that is the identity of the harlot. For those not familiar with the harlot, we turn to Revelation chapter 17, verses 1 through 5. He says, "Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, 'Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And on her head on her forehead a name was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth.'" Now the identity of this harlot woman, identified in the text as Mystery Babylon, is important because Revelations chapter 17 through 19 deal with the subject of who this harlot city is. It's not just a side issue, it's actually a major issue. Also, the identity of the harlot is a matter of debate. And the difference in opinion is grounded in the 3 questions we've already asked. When was Revelation written? What about the 1,000-year millennium? And what method of interpretation one is using? Now, Steve Gregg does a great job in his commentary, Revelation, Its 4 Views, of summarizing the different beliefs about who this harlot is according to the 4 different methods of interpretation. The historical method sees the harlot, the fall of Babylon, recorded in chapter 17 through 19, as the overthrow of the papal system of religion and government, yet to be seen in the future. The preterist method sees the harlot, remember the historical method it basically teaches that Revelation goes in a linear fashion from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through history up until the time of Christ. The preterist method sees the book of Revelation as basically something written about the past. Now the preterist method sees the harlot Babylon as either ancient Rome or the city of Jerusalem. If Rome, Revelation describes the downfall of Rome. If Babylon is Jerusalem, then it depicts the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Now the futurist model believes that the book of Revelation is mostly written about the future, and that the harlot city of Babylon is either the Catholic Church or some great apostate religious entity formed by the Antichrist in the end of time. Or it may be a literal city, either as a restored Babylon or revived Rome. The spiritual method sees the identity of the harlot as symbolic of the world system as a seducer of the godly. So we don't have to look very hard to see that one's method of interpretation greatly influences what one believes about the identity of who this harlot is. Now in the past, I've done some study on the identity of the harlot, and I came up with 7 clues that Revelation itself gives to determine who this harlot is. And any identity that is proposed will have to reconcile these 7 clues. The first clue, the Bible tells us the woman is a harlot, Revelation 17:1, and the term harlot is used almost exclusively in the Old Testament to refer to the unfaithfulness of Israel as they worshiped other gods instead of Yahweh. The second clue is the woman rides a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. That's found in Revelation 17:3. But it is not the beast. The beast is a kingdom, so the woman is not a kingdom. The third clue is the woman is named Babylon the Great and the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth in Revelation 17:5, which means she is wicked and the source of great evil in the earth or the land. The word earth and land being the same in the Greek, so it could be referring to the land of Israel. The fourth clue, the beast upon which the woman sits will burn the harlot with fire. And the 5th clue, and Jonathan's going to give you a text. I didn't write it down, so Jonathan's going to give you a verse on that last point in just a minute. He'll have it on the screen there. The 5th clue, the harlot grew rich through trade, Revelation 18:3. The 6th clue is the blood of the prophets and the saints was found in her. Quite telling, Revelation 18:24. And the 7th clue, the harlot is said to be the great city of Babylon, Revelation 18:10. And the New Jerusalem is also called the great city in Revelation 21:10. So the harlot is a great city, to say the least, and is possibly connected to the New Jerusalem. So when you hear someone give the identity of the harlot, keep these 7 clues in mind. I know we went through them fast. You can review them for yourself. But remember, the identity of the harlot, who you believe this harlot city is, greatly influences what you believe the rest of the book of Revelation is saying. So keep this in mind. If this lesson has helped you, please share it with a friend, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or check out our Sunday morning live podcast on either Apple or Spotify. And I hope to see you next week.